Police say that Solomon yelled "Free Palestine" before using the flamethrower and an incendiary device on the crowd. So 4 additional victims have been identified, bringing the number of injured to 12. And the injuries range from minor to serious. Investigators say that they found a dozen unlit Molotov cocktails near where he was arrested. And Toronto police say they are monitoring the situation closely. A statement reads in part, quote, "Our priority is the well-being and safety of our communities, and we continue to maintain a heightened and visible presence at schools, community centers, and places of worship across Toronto."
York Regional Police also weighing in, saying they'll also increase their police presence in response to this attack. They say our thoughts are with all of those affected by the tragedy, going on to say the safety and well-being of our community remains their top priority. So out of an abundance of caution, they will continue to maintain a heightened presence at places of worship and faith-based community locations across York Region. And for more on what this level of heightened security means in Toronto and other parts of the GTA, we now turn to our crime analyst, Steve Ryan, who's been following the story all day. What is the appropriate response here, Steve?
So a heightened police presence around mosques and synagogues. And we say mosques and synagogues because that's what the geopolitical conflict appears to be about over this past few years. And as reported in that Colorado incident, that is escalating. So police always watch and they learn and they adjust their strategies. So you will see a heightened police presence around mosques and synagogues, around communities, churches, schools, and community centers that are predominantly Jewish or Muslim. And that is just to make sure that everybody remains safe, and that it also acts as a deterrence to those who may want to go into those communities to cause trouble.
Okay, so Steve, we've seen, south of the border, there was the murder of those 2 individuals in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. We have this situation in Colorado. Here, we've just, we've had a lot of, let's say, tensions rising with protests. How does all of this add up for police?
Eyes, lots of eyes, whether it is a pro-Palestinian demonstration or a pro-Israeli demonstration. The more police that are there, they can view what's going on. And what struck a lot of law enforcement managers who I've been in contact with over this past 48 hours is the amount of time that this man in Colorado was able to stand there with those Molotov cocktails before it was intercepted by the police. So he was allowed to act out on those threats, because there wasn't a lot being done to deter that. So here in Toronto, we just witnessed a large, and I'm showing it right now, we were showing earlier on the large police presence during that walk for Israel. And there were police at every corner. And where there were anti-Israeli demonstrators, those who were supporting Palestine at the intersection of Bathurst and Shepherd, there was an exceptional amount of police there because they anticipated that could be a hot spot. And the police watched, and they were able to prevent anything physically from taking place. So it shows you how important it is to have a lot of police officers, both in the crowds, covertly, or outside the perimeters, just watching what's going on.
That is so important. Steve Ryan, live in studio. Thanks so much for your analysis, as always, Steve.
You got it.